Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to remind you of 3 words that can change your entire life. Those words are, I can do IT. Most people don't fail because they are weak. They fail because they believe they are weak. The moment you doubt yourself, your dreams start dying quietly. Look around you. Every successful person you admire was once scared. They were once confused. They were once told, you can't do it. The only difference is, they didn't accept that voice. Your mind is the strongest weapon you have. When you say I can't, your mind looks for excuses. When you say I can, your mind looks for solutions. Let me be very honest with you. Life is not easy. You will fall. You will fail. You will feel tired. But listen carefully. None of that means you should quit. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Every mistake is a lesson. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Stop waiting for motivation. Motivation comes after action, not before it. Take one small step, even if you are afraid. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward despite fear. Your past mistakes do not define you. Your background does not limit you. Your current situation does not control you. What controls your future is the decision you make today. Say it when it's hard. Say it when no one believes in you. Say it when you feel like giving up. Look at yourself and say it with confidence. I can do it. I can rise. I can change. I can win. Because the moment you believe it, the world will eventually believe it too. Most people spend their lives waiting for permission. Permission from society, from family, from circumstances, from fear itself. They say, one day, when I feel ready, I will start. But here is the reality. No one ever feels fully ready. Confidence does not come first, action does. And action only begins when you believe, even a little, that you can do it. Self-belief is not about thinking you are perfect. It is about trusting that you can learn, grow, and rise no matter what happens. It is about standing up after falling and saying, I'm not done yet. Every time you doubt yourself, you silently give your power away. Every time you believe in yourself, even when the odds are against you, you take that power back. Look at how many dreams die quietly every single day, not because they were impossible, but because the dreamer decided they were not good enough. Somewhere along the way, someone told them they were too slow, too weak, too average, too different, and instead of questioning that voice, they accepted it. They turned someone else's opinion into their own identity. But let me ask you something. Who decided your limits? Who wrote the rules for what you can or cannot achieve? Was it you? Or was it fear wearing the mask of logic? Because fear sounds reasonable. Fear says, be careful. Fear says, what if you fail? Fear says, what will people think? But belief says, what if I succeed? Belief says, what if this works? Belief says, I owe it to myself to try. Self-belief does not remove problems from your life. It gives you the strength to face them. It does not guarantee success overnight. It guarantees that you won't give up when success takes time. When you believe in yourself, failure becomes feedback, not a full stop. It becomes a lesson, not a label. Think about the hardest moments in your life. The moments when you felt lost, tired, and close to quitting. You survived them. Not because life became easy, but because something inside you refused to break. That something is proof. Proof that you are stronger than you think. Proof that you already have what it takes. Yet many people ignore this proof. They focus only on what went wrong, not on the fact that they are still standing. They replay their mistakes, but forget their resilience. Self-belief is the ability to remember your strength even when your mind is full of doubt. You don't need everyone to support you. You don't need universal approval. You don't even need constant motivation. What you need is the courage to keep going when no one is clapping for you, when progress is slow, when results are invisible, when the only voice you hear is your own. And in those moments, the words you speak to yourself matter more than anything else. If you keep saying, I can't, your actions will follow that story. If you keep saying, I'm not ready, you will stay stuck. But when you say, I can do it, something shifts inside you. Your posture changes. Your focus sharpens. Your mind starts looking for ways instead of excuses. Self-belief is built in small moments. When you keep a promise to yourself, when you show up even when you don't feel like it, when you try again after failing, these moments may feel insignificant, but they stack up. And one day, you wake up realizing you are no longer the person who doubted everything. You are the person who tries. Remember this, the world does not reward potential, it rewards persistence. And persistence is impossible without belief. You cannot chase a dream you don't believe you deserve. You cannot fight for a future you don't think is possible. So today, choose to believe, not blindly, not arrogantly, but bravely. Believe that you are capable of growth. Believe that you are allowed to dream bigger. Believe that your effort matters even when the results are slow. Believe that your story is not finished. Say it when your voice shakes. Say it when fear is loud. Say it when nothing around you makes sense. Say it again and again until it becomes part of who you are. I can do it, because the moment you truly believe that, your life will never be the same. Today, I want to take you deeper into two powerful truths that can transform the way you see yourself and your future. Self-belief and fear disappears when action begins. These are not motivational quotes meant to sound good. These are life principles that decide whether people move forward or remain stuck where they are. Self-belief is the foundation of everything you will ever achieve. Before skill, before experience, before results, there must be belief. Not loud belief. Not fake confidence. Real belief, the quiet decision that no matter what happens, you will not give up on yourself. Most people think they lack ability, but the truth is, they lack trust in themselves. They don't trust that they can handle failure. They don't trust that they can learn along the way. They don't trust that they can survive discomfort. So they stay where it feels safe, even if that place is slowly killing their dreams. From childhood, many of us are trained to doubt ourselves. We are corrected more than we are encouraged. We are warned more than we are challenged. Over time, this creates a voice in our head that questions every step. What if I'm not good enough? What if I embarrass myself? What if I fail? And slowly, that voice becomes stronger than our own desires. Self-belief is not about silencing that voice forever. It is about refusing to let that voice make decisions for you. Every successful person you admire had moments of deep self-doubt. The difference is not that they were fearless. The difference is that they acted despite their fear. They decided to believe in their ability to figure things out. They trusted that, even if they failed, they would learn something valuable. They trusted themselves enough to try. And this brings us to the second truth. Fear disappears when action begins. Fear is powerful only when you are standing still. The moment you move, fear loses control. Think about it. Fear lives in imagination. It creates worst-case scenarios. It magnifies risks. It whispers stories that haven't happened yet. But action brings you back to reality. Action gives you facts instead of fears. Most people wait for fear to go away before the why start. That day never comes. Fear does not leave because you are ready. Fear leaves because you are moving. Confidence is not something you find, it is something you build through action. One step forward creates clarity. One attempt creates experience. One failure creates strength. When you finally take action, you realize something powerful. Fear was never as big as it felt. Yes, challenges are real. Yes, the path is uncomfortable. But you are stronger than the emotions trying to stop you. Action proves to you what motivation never can, that you are capable. Self-belief grows every time you act. Even if the result is not perfect, the attempt itself rewires your mind. You stop seeing yourself as someone who only dreams and start seeing yourself as someone who tries. This shift is life-changing. Because once you see yourself as a doer, quitting becomes harder. Giving up feels unnatural. But let me be honest. Action does not always bring immediate success. Sometimes it brings failure. Sometimes it brings rejection. Sometimes it brings silence. And this is where most people stop. They confuse discomfort with danger. They confuse failure with identity. They say, maybe this is not for me. But failure is not a sign to stop. It is a sign to adjust. Self-belief does not mean you will always win. It means you will always continue. It means you understand that growth is messy, progress is slow, and mastery takes time. It means you stop expecting perfection and start respecting effort. Fear will try to return. It always does. Every new level brings a new version of doubt. But now you know the truth. You know that fear cannot survive action. You know that belief grows when you move. So instead of waiting to feel confident, you move anyway. Instead of waiting to feel ready, you start now. The world does not change for people who wait. It changes for people who act. And action begins with one sentence spoken honestly, not loudly, but firmly. I can do it. When you say those words and back them with action, you stop being a spectator in your own life. You become the person who shows up, who tries again, who keeps going even when it's hard. This is how lives are changed. Not in one dramatic moment, but in small decisions made daily. The decision to believe, the decision to act, the decision to move forward, even with fear in your chest. Because courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is choosing action over fear, again and again. And once you understand this, nothing truly stops you, except the moment you decide to stop yourself. Today I want to speak to you about 3 powerful forces that shape the direction of your life. Self-belief. Fear disappears when action begins, and your past does not decide your future. These are not just ideas to feel good about for a moment. These are truths that, once understood, change the way you walk, think, and live. Self-belief is where everything begins, long before the results show up, long before anyone claps for you. Belief must exist inside you. Not the kind of belief that shouts, but the kind that stays when things go wrong. Many people think they fail because they lack talent, intelligence, or resources. In reality, they fail because they don't trust themselves enough to continue when the journey becomes uncomfortable. They quit not because they can't go on, but because they stop believing they should. From a young age, we are taught to look outside ourselves for validation. Good grades bring praise, approval brings confidence, criticism brings doubt. Slowly, we learn to measure our worth by other people's reactions, and when those reactions disappear or turn negative, so does our belief. Self-belief is the decision to stand with yourself even when no one else does. It is the ability to say, I don't have all the answers, but I trust myself to find them. Belief does not mean you are never afraid. It means fear does not control your decisions. Fear will always be there when you attempt something meaningful. If there is no fear, there is no growth. But the moment fear starts deciding your actions, your life begins to shrink. Dreams become smaller, effort becomes weaker, hope becomes quieter. That is why belief must be stronger than fear. Here is the truth most people never realize. Fear disappears when action begins. Fear feels massive when you are standing still. It grows in silence. It feeds on delay. The longer you wait, the louder it becomes. But the moment you move, fear loses its power. Action interrupts fear. It replaces imagination with experience. It replaces what if with this is what I can handle. People often say, I'll start when I feel confident. But confidence is the reward, not the requirement. You don't feel confident and then act. You act, and confidence slowly follows. One step creates clarity. One attempt builds courage. One failure teaches more than months of overthinking. When you take action, even imperfect action, you prove to yourself that you are capable of movement, and that proof is powerful. Action does not guarantee success, but it guarantees growth. And growth changes you. It changes how you see yourself. You stop identifying as someone who only dreams and start seeing yourself as someone who tries. That shift alone